Good evening. Welcome to Miami Connection 2023. I would like to thank you all for joining us tonight and congratulate you for taking the time to join this space to connect and learn. Miami Connection, the host of this webinar, is an initiative of IRG, our organization. And our fundamental mission is to connect Miami with the world by promoting and educating. Not only to real estate investors, but everybody who is interested in learning in Miami. Miami, which is the city with the fastest growing real estate market in the United States, and is also known now as the capital of the world. So in the next 45 minutes, we'll cover very interesting information about Miami. We're going to start with Nexo Miami residents, with the executive of sales, Tatiana Chaparro. And we're also going to learn about EB5 visa with the attorney Julian Montero. And if you're looking to finance real estate in Florida, David Otero will guide us. But before I give the floor to our standing guest, on not just the floor, the screen in this case, I want to tell you a little bit more about the city of Miami, the city where I lived and worked for more than 20 years. Now, in the past few years, since pandemic started, Miami has evolved from being the capital of America, because of the proximity, to being a dynamic city, the city that represents freedom and capitalism, to being the capital of the world. It's known as the happiest and healthy city of America, and has become the destination point for companies and talents in the tech industry. And to many Fortune 500 companies, as Goldman Sachs, as Amazon, as Microsoft, and many, many more. And what are these companies looking for when they relocate to Florida? Of course, they want to look at advantages. They want to see what are the opportunities that Florida has to offer. And one of the main ones that Florida is known for is the benefits that they get in taxes, all the tax savings they can get. Why? Because Florida doesn't have any estate income tax. So for all these corporations, it's a great advantage. Now, on the other side, all the events and all the happening that Miami has to offer. In the last years and the last few years, Miami always has been the host for many global events, but now even more. We now have the Formula One, the Ultra Music Festival. It's been for many, many years. Art Basel, Florida Art Show. Now we're going to have the World Cup. So any event related within sports, within culture, within music, everything is being hosted here in Florida. And what this brings a strong tourism industry. This brings a population growth. So basically all that I'm saying here in a summary, it's the advantage that Florida has offered to all these corporations has bring a very huge growth within the real estate market. And for that, I'm going to show you a little bit more within numbers and percentages so you can understand, because a lot of people are saying there's a recession. Prices are going to drop. When is the best time? Let's just wait. Let's just wait to invest in real estate. In reality, and this is what is proven, and this is what we can see within facts and numbers, and this is just facts given by the Association of Realtors in Florida, where we can see the increment in prices within the single property, single homes, and also in condominiums. But let's start with the single homes. Within the last year till today, we've seen an increment of 8%. I know it doesn't sound much, but if we go within condominiums, and we're going to see it here, we can see now a 24% increment. That is pretty nice. That is pretty good. And considering right now that the interest rate is pretty high. So eventually this is going to drop. And I know David is going to give us a little more information about the interest rate currently right now in Florida, what we can expect in the US. But when these interest rate drop, we're going to have more demand, even more demand than we have right now, meaning that the price is going to increase even more. So if you're still considering an option to invest in real estate in Miami, and you're just waiting, let me tell you something. And this is what you can see. Numbers prove everything. The time is now. But anyway, I'm going to expand a little more later on. But for now, I'm going to start with Nexo residents. And that's why I want to invite right now to Tatiana Chaparro to the screen so she can talk us a little more about what Maya Nexo has to offer. So Tatiana, the screen is yours.
Yes, how are you? Good night. Well, thank you, Giovanna, and thank you, Ayergi. You know, this is the first time for me to present Nexo in Turkey, so this is a pleasure. Thank you so much for this invitation. Well, I'm here. My name is Tatiana, for everybody that is over there, like looking at us. I work for the developer of Nexo. Now I'm going to present the building. I'm going to talk a little bit about all the features that we're going to have. And I know we're going to have questions at the end. So anything that you want to ask me, I'll be here at the end of the webinar. So to answer all the things that you want to know more about Nexo. Okay. So I'm going to present, and I'm going to just show my presentation over here. Just let me know if you are looking at my screen. Can you see the building?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So we are looking at Nexo. This is the south part of our beautiful new project. Fortune International, which is the developer that I work with, has 30 years in the market and with a lot of experience and with more than 2,000 units already developed and sold. So we are going to talk about the location, but for now, I just want to tell you that is this beautiful boutique building just have 16 floors. We have 250 units all over, and we have 3 full floors of amenities. So we are going to be the only one in the area that I'm going to show you in a second slide that is going to be able to do short-term rentals. So we are going to be able just to rent minimum 3 nights, and also in long-term and medium short-term rentals too. So we have 16 floors. We're going to have 7 beautiful townhouses. Also, we are going to have from studios, okay, to 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, and also beautiful 4 bedrooms townhouses. Also, you can see over here the skyline of the beautiful sunny Isles. So we are going to be very close to the beach. And let me show you in the path. Many of you have been in Miami, and we're going to be located, or maybe not, but let me show you. Let me put a little bit of zoom. We are here. This is our logo. This is our Nexo project. We're located in US 1 and Biscayne. That is one of the main avenues that cross Miami from the south to the north. We are in a very same distance from each of the international airports, Miami International Airport and Fort Lauderdale International Airport. And also we are 10 minutes from Sunny Isles Beach, which is one of the most beautiful beaches here in Miami. Also, many of you have been in Aventura Mall. We are located like just 10 minutes from the shopping mall, and also the same distance from Bar Harbor. That is the exclusive mall with exclusive stores. And we were talking and we heard, like Giovanna, that we have many events. So the stadium that was selected for the World Cup is just 16 minutes from us too, so which is very important. And also, if I go south, our project will be just from Design District 7 miles. So in 10 minutes, 15 minutes by car, you will be in Design District, also Midtown, Wynwood, and Brickell. If I go north, I will get to Aventura, then Hollywood, and Fort Lauderdale. One of the most important thing that now we have in Miami is our fast train, so the Brightline. And the station is going to be just 7 minutes from Nexo, which is important for the owners and the residents if you are going to rent your unit. So because this train now is going from downtown to West Palm Beach, but by September this year, they're going to open the line to Orlando. So everybody can be from Miami to Orlando in just 2.5 hours. That's all. So that makes Nexo like in a very good position for everybody just to be here, enjoy the beautiful sunny Miami, and go to Orlando and enjoy the parks over there. In this rendering, I'm just showing the building again, right? Because I want to show you the surroundings of us, very close we have the FIU, that is the Florida International University, where 7,000 students assist to it. Also, we have Hallowell Beach, that is a beautiful natural reserve, just at 10 minutes from us, also Sunny Isles, and they already started the construction of the Hospital, the University Miami Hospital. Is one of the most important hospital in Miami, right? They are going to be just 2 blocks from us, like 5 minutes by car, and they will have over there also the research oncology center, and also the Bascom Palmer Eye Center, which is the most important eye center in whole country, in whole United States. Also, we are going to have in this site, in this land that I'm showing with my mouse, a future retail center that another big developer is going to do. So we're going to have shopping, we're going to have cafe, we are going to have also many different residential buildings over there. So we are going to have everything.
Çok büyük bir karma proje oraya da açılıyor.
And over here, I want just to show you our units. All of them, they are going to be fully finished and beautiful furnished. All of them, they will have with amazing views, and all our heights will be like 10 floors, floor to ceiling. So everything, all our floors will be Italian, and the furniture too. And also the amenities will be amazing. We are going to have a beautiful outdoor theater on the 5th floor, and a beautiful cabanas that you can enjoy with your friends and also the tenants that you have in your residence. A beautiful pool. Also over here, you can see the cabanas with electric fire pits. You can use it, and also you can reserve if you have a private event. Here the gym with all the art state of art, the best machines, the most ultimate technology. So we're going to have also a Pilates and yoga room inside the gym facing the terrace. And this is our high-tech center where you can enjoy also as a second office. As I told you, we are going to have a hospital, and the hospital will have the medical school there, and also the university is just 5 minutes from us. So we have everything inside the building, and this is one of the most beautiful amenities. So in the first floor, we're going to have a beautiful cafe, and on the second floor, we're going to have a high-tech center where we can enjoy a conference table, and also individual spaces with Wi-Fi, so you can just come down and have a meeting. Also, if you want to work from here, and you don't have to do it from your unit. And this is our lobby. Our lobby is like whole 4th floor to high ceiling, and it's like being in a resort. So we have everything inside the building for adults, for kids, also a playground. I will show you later if you want. And one of the most important thing about Nexo is that our project is being qualified for the EB5 process that now Julian is going to explain to everybody. How is that? So this is why we are very happy about it, so that we have already qualified for the EB5 process. Now, our attorney, Julian Montero, is going to introduce to this process and explain everything to you.
Thank you, Tatiana. Merhaba. Tünaydın. My name is Julian, and I am a lawyer specialized in representing foreign investors with the EB5 program. I'm going to provide you with general information regarding this very important program. There will be some questions after this webinar. And if any of you are interested, we can schedule one-on-one private communications. The EB5 program is a federal program that was established by the US government in 1990. It is important that you recognize that this program has more than 30 years of success and has helped thousands and thousands of families from all over the globe to obtain permanent residence in the US. The EB-5 program accomplishes one very important goal. It provides permanent residence to foreign investors. The family group that will receive the permanent residence is the investor, their spouse, and children under 21 years of age. The US government does not provide many options for permanent residence. EB-5 is one of the more direct options for those well-qualified investors. Under federal law, the amount of investment is $800,000 US. I will repeat again, $800,000 US is the amount that has to be invested according to the federal law. The EB-5 program requires that the investment be made into a specific project. The project has been structured by lawyers to qualify under the EB-5 program. This is very important because you all need to understand that not any investment will give you an immigration benefit, much less permanent residence. The particular project that Tatiana showed to you, Nexo Residences, is a project located in Miami that has been structured to qualify under the EB-5 program. This means that if any of you choose to invest in the project, you will be eligible for permanent residence under the EB-5 program. One of the new benefits under the EB-5 program is the possibility for you and your family members to come to the US sooner instead of waiting in Turkey for the interview at the US Embassy. This new opportunity is possible because June of 2022, there was a very important change in the law governing the EB-5 program that now allows families that make the investment and make the application for EB-5 to consider coming to the US before the EB-5 application is approved. I can provide more details to any of you that are interested by scheduling one-on-one private and confidential communications. So let's pause for a moment. The EB-5 program is a federal law with a purpose to provide you, the foreign investor, and your family permanent residence in the US. In order to accomplish this, you need to find a project that qualifies and has been structured specifically to qualify for the EB-5 program, such as Nexo. You then need to work with a lawyer that is specialized in the EB-5 program so that the lawyer can help you and your family understand the many technical requirements and understand the application process. The important thing for you to understand is that if you are interested in coming to the US and to obtain the maximum benefit that this country offers, permanent residence, you have a program and a project that you can consider. I'm going to pause at this moment. I'll allow my colleague David Otero to continue. And remember that I will be available at the end of this webinar for general questions. And if any of you are interested in specific one-on-one private communications, you can contact the IRG team in Turkey, and they will coordinate with our team in Miami. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Julian. And I want to thank everyone for attending this webinar. Good evening to everyone. My name is David Otero, and I'm the CEO of Lending Bankers Mortgage. Our company has been in business for 19 years, and we specialize on financing for real estate, including foreign nationals. This has been one of the specialties for the last 19 years, and we do it very well. The first thing I want to say is how easy is it to get a mortgage for a foreign national? Ironically, it is easier for a foreign national to obtain financing in the US than it is for a US citizen. US citizens, we are graded by our credit scores, our taxes paid to the government, so on and so forth. There are many things that we need to have in perfect shape in order to qualify for a mortgage. And the foreigners are not subject to such a scrutiny, okay? So it is very easy. I want you to understand that part. And next, I want to talk to you about the type of properties we can finance. We can finance condominiums, we can finance houses, we can do condo hotels in case that you prefer to have a vacation home and that this property generates income. We can do those as well. And last will be commercial. We're not going to get into details on that. We're going to talk about residential, okay? What is the loan to value? How much can I borrow when I'm talking about purchasing a home? A single family home, you can borrow up to 70% of the value of the property, okay? And a condominium or a condo hotel, you can borrow up to 65% of the value of the property, okay? The next thing that most people will ask me is, what are the rates, okay? The rates at this moment are a little bit higher than last year, but they're still low, okay? And also, ironically, rates for foreign nationals did not go up as much as they did for US citizens. Why? Because we use programs that are called portfolio programs, okay? These are institutions that are very familiar with foreigners. They like them, and they keep the rates at very low levels, okay? Again, you're not affected by credit score. You're not affected by payment of taxes in the US, so that goes into your favor, okay? The levels of rates at this moment are between the 5s and the 6%, okay? I would say high 5s to low 6s is where we find the rates to be today. Are they gonna go lower? Yes, we're expecting to go lower next year. But in general, what I want you to know is that the average for the past couple of decades has been somewhere in the mid 4s to low 5s. So we're not too far away from there, okay? That's the average. Then what kind of amortization do we have on these programs? They're all based on a 30-year amortization, okay? Can you pay them before the 30 years? Of course, you can schedule your own monthly payments to be finished in 20 years or 15, and that's something we'll get to talk one-on-one to those that are interested in knowing more about all the technicalities of how can you make the payment. But what I want you to remember is that for each $100,000 that you borrow, your payment is going to be more or less between $550 and $600, okay? That's very easy for you to calculate what happens if I borrow $1 million, okay? My payment is going to be $5,500 to $6,000. And that includes principal and principal amortization and your interest payment, okay? Then the last thing I want to talk about is what kind of documentation do you need to present to get an approval, okay? So we start with a basic loan application. It's a couple of pages, and it will ask you personal information about where you live, where you work, how much money you make, if you own other properties, and that's basically it, okay? And then we go into what documents do we need besides the application, which would be a letter of your accountant if you are self-employed. This letter is going to say that you own X percentage of your company, 100% owner, 50% owner. What is your title in the company? Okay. It's also going to tell me what has been your personal income for the past 2 years and the current year to date. So 2021, 22, and current year to date for 2023. Okay. If you work for a company, then the company is going to have to make the letter on their letterhead, your employer, and they're going to say the same thing, except for, you know, your position in the company, the income for the past 2 years and year to date. Then the next thing we're going to need is a bank reference letter. Okay, the bank reference letter could be any bank from anywhere in the world. The important thing is that the letter states that you have at least 2 years of relationship and that it is a positive relationship. Okay, simple as that. Doesn't need to get into details of balancing the accounts or anything like that. The next thing we need is copies of 2 forms of ID. Your passport and your US visa could be the documents that I use. I always will need passport. In cases of visa, if it doesn't have the picture, then you can send me another picture ID, but that's what we need for identification. And then the next thing we're gonna need is copies of your last 2 months of bank statements, okay? To prove that you have the necessary down payment to buy the property, okay? Liquidity, last 2 months. In cases where you buy a property on pre-construction and you need to wait to apply for the loan until the property is almost finished, I need you to please keep the records of any wire transfers that you make for the deposits of the property, okay? Because I'm gonna need those to prove that you were the person that sent the money for this deposit, okay? Besides that, we're gonna need a copy of a utility bill that shows us, it could be water, electricity, telephone, that shows us that your name is connected to the property, your primary home in Turkey, okay? And besides these documents, there is really not much else. It's a very easy process, and I will wait for the next session, which will be the question section. I want to thank everyone for inviting me here. They're a great group of professionals. I know them for many years. We have worked on different projects together, and I'm here for you at any time. And obviously, all your information that you decide to share once you're doing a mortgage process is completely confidential. We're regulated by government entities that regulate the banks. So you can feel very confident that all your information will be kept very confidential at all times. Thank you, and I give the word to Giovanna again.
Thank you so much, David and Tatiana and Julian. It's been such much information that I know our guests have many questions. And I'm just going to give them the opportunity right now to address these questions, because that's what we're here for, to make their life easier. So I have one question here. And actually, Tatiana, maybe you can help me with this question.
Yes.
They're asking me about this project. When is it going to be finished? It's
Yes,
under
well,
construction, not.
well, no, we are going to start construction approximately by August this year, and we estimate it to be finished by the end of 2025. So we estimate like about 28 months construction.
Okay, great, perfect. Okay, and I think this question is for you, Julian. They're asking me if they can get, if they use a bank loan to apply for EB visa, EB5 visa. So I guess what they're referring is they need a loan, if they can use a loan to apply.
Thank you for the question. As those of you in Turkey know, there are some restrictions at the moment concerning the transfer of funds from Turkey. I am very familiar with the process. I currently work with many Turkish investors, and those of you that are interested in making an investment in the US, in obtaining permanent residence through the EB-5 program, I would be very pleased to schedule a confidential communication with you separately, and we can review the requirements for complying with your regulations and our regulations so that you can obtain permanent residence through the EB-5 program. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, William. One of the questions that I'm having about David, they're asking if they can purchase or they can apply for a loan under their wife or a corporation. I guess
Yes.
whether they can be partners or together.
Yes, we allow in all our programs the corporate title. It could be an LLC, a corp, an Inc. It's not a problem. We allow it, and you can join with family in this corporation in whatever amount of shares you want to split the percentage. Yes, it is allowed.
Perfect. Thank you. Tatiana, they're asking, what are the starting prices of the project?
Oh, the starting prices is $500,000. We have our studios starting in that price, and then up to $1.5 million. They go from 500,000 to $1.5 million.
Okay.
So
I
we
think
have
it's
many
interesting.
units and different units. Yes, Giovanna. So we have a different units, different models, and also different prices, for each client, and that covers their necessities,
It's a great price point, but it's
Yes.
important also to make a difference, to be very specific about the EB-5 visa. There's a question here saying that it is required to have a single property with the $800K US value, or is it possible to have multiple properties dollar value $800K? I think they need to understand how this really works. Julian, I think
Sure.
we can help us with that.
Thank you for the question. The EB-5 program requires an investment of $800,000 into the project, into the fund that has been structured to comply with the EB-5 program. So those of you interested in obtaining permanent residence through the EB-5 program will make an $800,000 investment into a company that has the purpose of raising money, and that company will use the money to complete the construction of the Nexo project. That is how the project complies or the requirement of creating work in the US, jobs in the US for US workers. Thank you.
So in this case, that's what Nexo comes in, because Nexo offers that. It cannot just be any project. It has to be in a specific region approved project, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. There are many, many technical requirements that the developer of the Nexo project had to comply with in order to qualify under the EB-5 program. So those of you that may have invested in properties in the US, in Florida in the past, what you need to understand is that those prior investments will not qualify for EB-5. Only new money, new $800,000 into the Nexo EB-5 fund would qualify under the EB-5 program.
Okay, so that means that I have to purchase a property, a unit in Nexo for that value?
No, but that's something that we can discuss together with Tatiana and those of you that are interested in receiving further information.
Okay, so, and I guess I want to be very specific, because I know this is what creates confusion. There's some specific units in Nexo that gives them the opportunity to apply for AB5. So with the purchase of those units on the
Yes.
side, it will give you the opportunity to apply. So it's the
Yes.
purchase of the unit plus the application for the AB5 visa, correct?
That is something that we can discuss with Tatiana and the Nexo team, specifically one-on-one to those of you in Turkey that are interested in learning more information.
Perfect.
Yes, we can
Thank you
do
so
that like in a very like private Zoom, like
Perfect.
with one of each one, and we explain the process, how it works with the EB5 process and the units that qualify for the EB5 process too.
Okay. The other one they're asking is, a family up to how many members can they apply for the EB5 visa? How many members can be in the family to apply? There's a limitation or?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. There is no limitation. The requirement is that the investor be married to the person that will come as either the husband or the wife, and that the children be under 21 years of age. So this does not apply to mom or dad of the investor or the siblings, the brother or the sister of the investor. This is for the investor, the investor's spouse, and their children who are under 21 years of age. That entire family group will obtain permanent residence by making the qualifying investment under the EB5 program.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Julian. What about the management Nexo? Because I know they're confused. They're asking about, does Nexo going to have their own property management?
Yes, Joanna. Nexo will have in-house a property management that will be doing all the rents. Of course, if the owner wants to use them, okay, because the owner has all the freedom to live in the unit, also to rent it by themselves, also to use their own private property management, but also we're going to have an in-house property management that will be doing all the rents. They will use all the platforms, also will be in charge of the check-in, the check-out, and the cleaning, and also handymans and services. So we want everything to be together with them, but the owner has the freedom to use them or not.
Okay, very good. Another one they're asking is, if I decide to sell my unit after some time, will they take my visa back?
That's a great question. So the answer is no. Once you invest in the fund, if you have acquired title to a unit because you like that investment opportunity, once you have title to the unit, meaning it is yours, you are free to sell it, to rent it, to use it. Your process for the immigration benefit is a separate process that will not be impacted if you sell the unit in the future.
Okay. David, they're asking if they can get a loan to finance the purchase of Nexo.
When we do the loan, normally what happens is the project is finished. The person, let's say that they bought a unit, let's just put an example, $1.6 million, right? And they gave 50% down payment, for example. I will give them a loan to close on the unit for the remaining $800,000, okay? So we will give the loan with the guarantee of the property. Okay.
Okay. I'm reading, but I was waiting for that translation because they were in Turkish. So, okay, I did that question already. That's good. Okay, perfect. So I have another question here. Can the payment for the application of the EB-5 visa be financed? Or is installments or in different payments?
So the process of making the investment to qualify for EB-5, you will have some alternatives available to you. This is something that if you're interested, we can speak one-on-one because every case is unique. Every case is separate, and we will develop a strategy that is the best strategy for the particular investor.
Sounds good. Tatiana, are the units furnished?
Oh, yes, Giovanna and everybody. That is a very nice like future of our project because all the units will come fully furnished and beautiful, like decorated by Urban Robot. That is a very well-known company here in Miami. So your clients, the owners, the only thing that we will need is just come with the luggage. That's all, with their personal belongings, because the units will come like totally furnished with Italian porcelain. Also, the kitchens are from Italy, from Italcraft, European appliances, and also sofa, TV, beds, everything will come in the unit. So when we have someone interested, we can do one-on-one also presentation, and I will show all the interiors of the units. And also we're going to have our beautiful office, like in 2 weeks done, where we are going to have a model of the kitchen, model of the bathroom, everything we're going to have there. But yes, the units will come furnished and moving ready. Thank you.
Julian, how long does it take to get the EB-5 visa?
That's a great question. What's more important than how long it takes is the fact that under the new EB-5 program, since June of 2022, we can work with the investor and their family to develop a strategy so that they can come to the US before the EB-5 application is approved. This was not possible before this change in law. This, in my opinion, is a wonderful new benefit because now the investor has the option of waiting in Turkey until they have the interview at the US Embassy. If, for example, they're very busy, they have family requirements, and they need to stay in Turkey for a few years, that is not a problem. If you have a family that is interested in coming to the US sooner, that is now possible. And that is something that we can describe in detail and explain further if anyone is interested in having a confidential one-on-one conference.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And David, can you get financed to any other properties besides Nexo, or we could just work with Nexo?
No, we can finance any type of real estate in any project, in any, single family, or even other states outside of Florida as well.
Amazing, amazing. Well, it's been a great time, and I want to thank you, each of you, Tatiana, Julian, and David, for joining us today. I think it's been very valuable information they were able to share. I know they're still going to have a lot of questions. I know it's just too much information in so little time that they're going to still have a lot of questions. And that's why I would like to invite everybody to continue connected, to contact us if you have any questions. Anybody on the IRG team will help you and will facilitate either make that connection directly with Tatiana, with Julian, or with David, depending on, what type of questions do you have. We're here to provide you the information and to give you all the support that, they can facilitate and make sure that you make this transaction an easy and a successful one. So we want to thank you. We want to invite you to stay connected. We will have another webinar in a month, in July. We're going to continue talking why to invest in Miami and why right now is a good time to invest in Miami. And as we always say, the time is now. And it's been a great time. Thank you once again. I'm Giovanna Guzman. I'm the broker and the owner of International Realty Group. And I want to thank you everybody for this moment. So we'll see you again. Remember, the time is now.
Thank you for the opportunity, Joanna. Thank you.
Thank you,
RG team.
everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.